Boy Scouts come out here and spend the night and enjoy themselves. And a friend of his said, you know, they're tearing down a house, a log cabin across the street, and I'll help you if you want to move it, and we'll put it over here on your farm. And so they did. And there was a fellow across the road who was a motor grader. He built dams and runways and had all this big, huge equipment to move dirt. And he was talking to Bob about what his farm was, and he said, you know, every few years I have a week that I have nothing for my people to do, and I can't lay them off because they're too vital for me. So if you'll pay for the fuel and the time, I'll bring my crew over here and we'll really fix your farm up. So they convinced about that for a few years. And when you coming? And anyway, finally one day the guy called and said, this is the week. And he came over here with his crew, and they built 3 lakes, 3 dams, built a fence all the way around the property, put the fence underground so animals couldn't climb under the wire, and built a runway all in no time. And that was the beginning of the whole thing getting to be big. In the meantime, people would call and say, I got a log cabin, I'm finishing to burn it down. If you want it, you can come and get it. And this kept going, and people volunteered to move, help him move. He's got so many tales about hauling log cabins. He'd have to haul them in the middle of the night because you couldn't haul all that lumber legally on the road. And then he's got one tale where his wagon fell over, and it was on and on. He's got all these tales. Anyway, he moved all these buildings here, and he personally built the chimneys of all these buildings you see. And he had volunteers to help him do all this. And now he has 110 structures. His wife is going nuts. He's got enough. I come out here and I feel kind of sorry for him because he's got to keep them all from leaking, and he's got to keep the cobwebs out of them and so forth. And there's so much value here now. They're furnished period, and all this furniture in here, you cannot believe how much value a lot of it has. It's just unbelievable. And so Bob's got, this is the biggest village in the world of that period of time. And he is now, he started a foundation because what's going to happen to it when he's gone. And he's now building a building out here for kids to come and spend the night and learn about this age of history. And he's building this a pretty major program. I think he's raised over $3 million so far to build what he's fixing to do. And so he's got to hurry to get it all done. You know? But it's an unbelievable place. And it takes about, of the volunteers, it takes about 400 people to come out here today and be docents in all the houses and buildings and functions, and you know, the people that are working out here to show you what was going on at the period of time. And this cotton gin is one of the most, probably most unique things on the property, because this cotton gin is the oldest cotton gin in America that's still running. And it's, I don't know the period of when it was built, but it's, he found it in Asheville. It was sitting on the porch of a house up there. You just had to be riding by and saw it, and went in and convinced with the lady that owned it. And he ended up with it, took photographs of it and sent it to the Smithsonian. They sent back, told him about the history of it and when it was built, and that it was a really unique piece. And so he started making a gin. This is a real gin house that was used in the old days to gin, and it had the same mechanism it's got now. However, most of that was destroyed. This gin house, he went home with his wife one day and told his in-laws that he had found a gin and he wanted to build a gin house. And they said, well, our barn used to be a gin house, and you can have it. And this is the barn. And so he tore it down, moved it here, and his good friend standing here helped him build all the mechanism that's in the bottom and there's a ratio of about 50. Every time the horse goes around once, this thing runs 50 times. So the gear ratio of the building. And so he'll carry on, and or you can, somebody tell them about the cotton gin.
All right, how many have heard of Eli Whitney? Okay, we all know who he was. Well, he was a smart guy. He grew up in Massachusetts, went to Yale, went south to serve as a tutor, and that job didn't work out. But he met a lady along the way, Catherine Green. She was the widow of Nathaniel Green, the general in the Revolutionary War. And she invited him out to her plantation outside of Savannah. And he saw people sitting around, and I don't know if you might pass some of this around, people sitting around trying to get the seed out of the cotton. And one person working all day long could get 1 pound of clean cotton, 1 pound. And so he had an idea, and I'll tell this story, and these guys don't agree with me, but I love it. He saw a cat, and the cat was trying to get to a chicken, and the cat was on the other side of some screen wire of some sort, and the cat would claw at the chicken, of course couldn't get to it, but pull feathers out. Well, that's the same idea here. You've got some, he developed a drum with hooks on it, like fish hooks. And the drum would turn, and it would go through little ribs. And the little ribs were so close together that the cotton seed itself couldn't get through the ribs. But the hooks would go through, and they would claw at the cotton with the seed, with the seed in it. And gradually, as it kept turning, it would pull more and more lint away from the cotton seed. And that's essentially what this is doing, except today, you have, instead of hooks, you've got a saw blade. So you've got blades in there with small teeth on it, but the concept's basically the same. It had a huge impact on the South. Instead of one person working all day to get a pound, you could get 50 pounds with a little hand crank cotton gin. Today, a modern cotton gin can do 30,000 pounds in an hour.